Why is it that this game is already getting so much hate? I mean, I get it. There hasn't been a quality Sonic game for years since Sonic Generations came out, and people have high expectations for this new game, but come on. First, we see people complaining that there's no gameplay previews.
No gameplay, right? That was CGI, right?
Oh, was that it? You Sega.
He's angry. He couldn't.
Show us
He's angry he couldn't
gameplay.
get his Final Fantasy pizza.
Didn't even get any gameplay. The only gameplay we got was Sonic standing on a fucking hill.
And now people are complaining about said gameplay previews. And again, I understand why people feel this way. Upon closer inspection, the entire open world feels empty and Sonic doesn't have enough movement options to accommodate the change in level design. So far, it looks like a lot of this game is unpolished. So much so that, in the eyes of many, it looks more like a Sonic fan game rather than an official product. But despite this, I feel like the things we've seen so far is actually really positive. This game looks like it's going to bring a great deal of new ideas and mechanics to the franchise, and I'm all for it. When comparing this game to others in the series, it's clear to see that there's a lot of potential behind this new world and setting. The kind of setting that warranted a change in the usual tone and atmosphere of the Sonic games. I feel like this change in tone really helps to make this game stand out. Not only is it a breath of fresh air for the franchise, but it feels like a change that synergizes well with the new pace of the game. Sonic is a character that is synonymous with going fast. As such, the tone of these games usually harnesses the style and substance of rock music, getting its players pumped to run through each level, conveying the spectacle of speed, and making them feel the freedom of running at high speeds. Okay, maybe not this game. With Sonic Frontiers taking on a drastically different gameplay style than its predecessors, it's reasonable to see why it took such a tone that differs so much from the usual style. The previous game's tone could usually be described as fast-paced, energetic, and extreme. It gets serious when it needs to be, but consistently makes the most out of the fast-paced moments that it has. Sonic Frontiers seems to take a different approach to the usual tone. No longer is it super fast-paced, but instead it takes up a more relaxed, simple, and emotional tone. I feel like this change is what makes Sonic Frontiers stand out amongst the other games. It takes a step back from the frantic fast-paced action of the Boost games and makes an effort to allow the player to take in the atmosphere and environment, which is something you can't really do in a lot of the other games because you're usually moving too fast to actually stop and appreciate anything. Many times, the player is encouraged to move as fast as they can in order to get the best rank or beat their previous clear time. Of course, this excludes the classic games where things are generally taken at the player's own pace. But now that there's an open world with plenty of space to run around in, there's no issue with stopping to appreciate the scenery. One could choose to run around these environments as fast as they can, or they can take it at their own pace while maintaining a moderate sense of speed. The game seems to really want to push for the idea of a beautiful looking landscape to run around in, and this is especially noticeable with the changes to the music. As I've said before, Sonic games typically harness the style and substance of rock music, with Sonic Frontiers deviating from this and using simpler and more emotional piano pieces. The use of rock music to convey the energy of the Sonic universe felt like a completely set style. It reflected the high energy and frantic nature of what Sonic was. Simple and emotional tracks were usually reserved for, well, emotional scenes, endgame scenes or smaller events that happen throughout the games. Frontiers embraces this type of music and creates a more balanced and subdued tone. The game takes a simple set of notes and makes an emotional set piece out of it. With the game embracing more simpler and open-ended tracks, the music is able to become more malleable than what we usually see with the set style of the previous games, meaning we may be able to see music that this franchise has never tackled before. It's pretty similar to games like Xenoblade Chronicles or Nier Automata, two games that have a similar tone to Sonic Frontiers. Just take a look. The melody we've heard so far in the gameplay reveal trailers sounds a little something like this. It can be played with the progression of chords C, A sharp, and G sharp, or B flat and A flat, same thing. Depending on how it's played, there are many ways that the previewed melody of the song can be expanded. Even as something as simple as this is enough to add to the tone of the game. Because the music reflects the slower and open-ended nature of the gameplay, it's able to expand on the tones of simplicity and emotion effortlessly. There's definitely a reason why so many people have found this song so memorable despite its 39-second runtime. It repeats the same set of notes over and over with different variations while alternating the dynamics with an orchestral accompaniment. There are even instances of this melody playing in the gameplay trailers with different variations. The music has a more malleable structure that lends itself well to the newly established tone that the game is going for. Here's an example. By embracing a more malleable style, Sonic Frontiers is able to indulge in a tone and atmosphere that hasn't really been explored in Sonic games before. It's been dabbled in, no doubt, but it's mostly been explored in small quantities. Now that we're getting an entire game that might explore more emotional tones and possibly deeper and serious subjects, it's very possible that this game will bring something that's lacking in other Sonic games. However, I do think that the game itself still has ways to go with handling its open world, but I'm still cautiously optimistic for the future. With how well the tone of the game resonates with the new gameplay, I can't really complain too much about what Sonic Team has shown off so far, especially because of the possibility that they're showing off earlier builds of the game to avoid spoilers. Overall, this game feels like a fresh new take on the franchise. It definitely has a lot of potential to do great, and I couldn't hope for anything better.